Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you are actually catching this live from. Your brand voice is how your audience hears and connects with you. So, on today's stream, we're going to learn how to craft a consistent tone and style that builds trust and loyalty. Hope you'll join us live for this. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt Yelverton here, reminding you about our new open office hours and our free Brand You community. Join us every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live, actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, Industry Dominator GHL, StreamYard, AI Tech, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident about your business and brand. And the best part is, after each and every live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask questions and get personalized answers. Do not miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to our YouTube channels. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company or as an entrepreneur struggling in your brand or business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each and every weekday. Cortez is the one and only followpreneur at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, founder of the PLR Profit Society, your brand master at 1 p.m., founder of the Brand You Agency, and you can binge watch Bridget, our automations and AI specialist, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you know you need to do to get your assets in order, to learn, to lead, and to level up.
So again, guys, come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you are catching today's live from. Come on into the room, Hannah and Shay and Linda and Bless Jim. So good to see each and every one of you here on IG and on TikTok, as well as on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So we don't know how long we're going to travel with all 5 of these platforms, but while you guys are engaging, I suggest that you go ahead and to tap the screen and share the stream so others can get this information. A lot of people don't even know what a brand voice is, and that's what we're talking about today. How to create a brand voice that your specific audience will love and that will recognize. So come on into the room, baby, and Shay and Anthony. So good to see all of you. Elva Jade, Awaken with Elva in the building. Come on into the room and get this information. So you may be saying brand voice. What specifically is a brand voice? Well, it is a tone. It is a zhuzh. It's your style. It's your personality. A brand voice is how you convey your message. So when you're communicating here on social media, when you're communicating inside of your own given platform, whether you're on a stage, whether you're in these internet streets, whether you're out here talking about what you do to serve and to coach entrepreneurs like you to get your assets in order, when you're talking to people, it is how you are speaking to them. What is that special sauce that you actually speak to your community, and how do you communicate your information, your value? That is your brand voice, right? You want to make sure that your brand voice reflects your personality and it connects emotionally with your audience. Why? Because people understand. I don't know if you've ever done this little test on yourself before, but have you ever been looking for something, and especially on, options like chat and email, and the little icon or the little image or the little window is there. It's colored or it has their initials. Some piece of that extra flanking information you actually recognize before you recognize the text or the title or the name of the individual, right? There is a connection to the image or the icon or the color or the tone that that image, icon, color, or logo, slogan, or whatever was delivered in. You connect to that. You resonate with that much quicker than you do the actual text. So when you're thinking about creating a brand voice, think about what resonates with people, what draws them to people. And yesterday we talked about the colors and the fonts, right? What specifically resonates with people via the color and the font? Maybe in addition to that, that logo, that color, that imagery, all of that information, what specifically connects with those people outside of whatever the value is? You want to make sure that you're utilizing that to its best ability. So if you think about options that we have out here, like restaurants, Wendy's seems to have a fun, sassy, and bold sometimes. I don't know if you caught some of these back and forth between restaurants, play on words that they've actually been utilizing. That is a tone. That is a personality. I think it's Apple has a clean, inspiring, and innovative tone. Nike has a very ingenuitive, right? But it has a very simplistic area of motion inside of its brand. There are so many that we could go on and on and on about. What exactly is that tone and that personality that not only is genuine and authentic to you, but that is also genuine and authentic and resonates with the audience or your ideal client? Okay. You want to make sure to keep that in mind. So let's talk about how you would literally define what your brand voice is. Look at yourself. Think about how you deliver things. Is it formal or is it casual? I'm your country casual girl, right? Whenever I'm introducing myself and I'm letting you know who I am and why I am here to impact people in these internet streets, is to help you guys get your assets in order and go from being stuck and struggling inside of what could be considered a business or a company's brand to gaining impact and influence inside of your own personal brand so that you can attract other people who what it is that you have to you, right? It's also inspiring, but it's also very, very, very much educational and authoritative, right? I want you guys to understand when you come into the Brand You Agency and you're getting this information and you join our free community over at learnleadandlevelup.com, when you get into these areas, there is a certain authoritative tone that is throughout the entire network inside of that group, that community, whatever you want to term it as. But there's also a lot of fun. There's a lot of casual, overtones that are there. Is that what you want to convey? You have to ask not only yourself, but even ask your audience. Do you guys enjoy the country twang? Do you enjoy the country casual that I deliver? Drop that information into the comments and say, well, no, actually, Brandmaster, I would prefer if you were more educational or if you were less casual, right? These are things that you actually want to take into consideration, the feedback of the intended or the available audience, and see whether or not there's tweaks that you need to make. You want to also consider creating what is called a voice chart, and you want to fill it with adjectives that actually describe your brand. So let's see, I have my little notebook here, and we're going to see if I can pull this out and see if I can get to this, just to give you a few adjectives that may trigger you to understand what specifically it is that I'm saying. Let's see if I can get to that page, because of course this just hit me that this might be helpful for you guys to understand that voice chart. If I can find that area. All right, so if you're thinking about adjectives, are you thinking about things like energetic? Are you thinking about things like glowing, goofy, peaceful, timid? Like, these are different types of adjectives that you want to consider. Are you thinking of things like inspirational, motivational, transformative? These are different types of adjectives that could, specifically describe your brand. When you create that voice chat full of adjectives, now you want to be able to go through that and consider whether or not that really resonates with the message that you are actually trying to convey. This will help you determine your brand voice and what it is that you're trying to put out here. Now, once you go through this set of adjectives, I really want you to come up with about 3 to 5, okay? 3 to 5 adjectives that actually describe your brand. And then I want you to begin to align your voice with your audience's preferences. Don't become inauthentic, okay? Remain true to your core values. And we talked about that at the very beginning of branding. What are those core values? Remain true to that, because people can sniff out inauthentic. They can sniff out, that in an instance, and you don't want to be out here being disingenuous, okay? You want to remain integritous, and you want to make sure that you are operating in your true branding for who you are, but you need to take into account the audience that is hearing that information. If that makes sense, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you like the information that you're hearing, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff so that you can continue to get more of this content. But the bottom line is, if you have no brand and you have no brand voice, then this begins your journey. What is it that you do that you don't even sneeze at? It's not difficult for you. It's what you love to do. How do you deliver that? How do you get that information out into these internet streets? That is the beginning of your brand voice, okay? When you're thinking about that, let's talk about consistency, because I'm sure you guys can understand and you can relate to times that situations come upon you that you get to your destination and it looks totally different than the images that you saw before you got there. You don't want your audience to feel that way about the things that you're saying. So I'm country casual, but I wouldn't want you to turn on any of my streams one day and I'm sitting here suited and booted, right? Now, unless I'm speaking before a professional speaking gig, when you come to my information, you're going to come to a consistent branding of country casual, because I want you guys relaxed in my presence. I want you open. I want you receiving the information. I want you receiving my passion and my purpose behind the information. I hope that makes sense, okay? So you want to remain consistent in all of that. If you have not gone through the process of determining the 5 W's of who you are, what it is, where you deliver it, when will you deliver it, why behind anything that you deliver for your purpose or your passion, that's where you need to start before you even jump over here into the brand voice, option that we have. You need to determine those 5 W's, and you need to understand why it is that you deliver what you deliver before you can even try to figure out what that brand voice is. I hope that makes sense. We go through all of this in great depth inside of your Brand You Blueprint inside of the community. So while you can come into the community at learnleadandlevelup.com, and you can join us and you can ask your questions inside of an open office hour setting where you can ask your brand questions, ask your business questions, and not only myself, but the community looks to deliver solutions or answers or even suggestions for how you can move from your problem area to your purposed area. You can come into the community and get that. And if you are brand spanking new, you have no brand voice, you have no earthly idea how to develop yourself on social media, you have none of the things that you feel for some reason you think you need just to get started, come and join us and we'll help you get there, okay? We'll help you document the process. We'll help you develop your brand voice. We'll help you get a style guide together, because sometimes people don't feel like they can move forward unless they have that blueprint. How do I know? Ask your brand master, because I've been there, right? So in coming into the community, you'll get training, you'll get help, you'll get understanding, you'll get to know and understand how to develop that brand voice for those people who need it. Now, you also will be able to talk to other people who may be your clients or who may be in the industry, and you'll be able to kind of play back and forth with them and understand different tones and tonality and, what that means and how it's received. Some people may not be interested in a country twang. They may want to come into a professional atmosphere and only get that particular level of elite responses. That's not what you get here with the brand master. Now, we can do that thing called code switching and do that. But to me, that's a little inauthentic, right? But that's letting you know the varied areas of brand voices and what could be distributed. All right. So let's talk about how to use your brand voice. Let's talk about how to use your brand voice. So let me pull up a different set of notes here. Thank you so much, Bridget, for watching here on Facebook. I appreciate you. That is our AI and automation specialist inside of the Brand You Agency. She is a collaborative partner that assists us with what is not our lane. Okay, AI and automation is not our lane. So we have a coach for that. We have a specialist for that, for those that are inside of our community. And we want you to know, that you're not in all of this by yourself. You have a brand master, you have a PLR and an MRR and a Profit Society coach. You have different people that can help you along this journey. That's what community is about, right? So let's div it back. How to use your brand voice. Okay, social media captions. When you first saw this pop up on your timeline, more than likely on IG, it should say create a brand voice. The same thing on TikTok, it says create a brand voice. But if you're watching over on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, it says create a brand voice your audience will recognize and love. Right? So have you ever been sitting in a situation, and I know many of you have, where you hear the first 3 seconds of a song and you automatically know what song it is? I'm just making a connection for you. That's like a simple way to say what a brand voice is. It's something that you hear that tweaks something that resonates with you, and you're like, oh, I know, right? That is an example of a brand voice. So you may be following someone on social media and you see their consistent slogan in their social media captions, right? You see their hashtag, their tagline, their slogan. All of these are similar representations of the way that you can recognize a brand voice on social media. You may have a trigger word that happens inside of an email campaign that you utilize, like Brand Master, like get your assets in order, right? These are different things that you will see consistently in the brand voice of the Brand You Agency. You want to be able to use that additionally on the website copy. Let me see if I can go ahead and get a screen pulled up in here for the website copy. So the first thing you see here on the screen, those of you that are on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, the Brand You Dollar Deals membership. That is something, a piece of content, a slogan, a tagline that's repeated throughout my copy. So let's see if I can grab a different window and let's see if I can get it to come up. Here we go. So on the main web page, one of the web copies that I just spoke about that you see here is Brand Master. You also see Get Your Assets in Order. When you come over to the Dollar Deals Agency and the landing page for that, you see, again, things that resonate. The Brand You Agency, the Learn, Lead, and Level Up.com. You see Brand Master here. Boldly, you see for someone who is stuck or struggling as an entrepreneur that has no brand, no social media presence, no leads, no customers, right? When you go down throughout the page itself, you're going to continue to see the Brand You Agency. Brand You is repeated throughout. Even when you talk about the core visualization modules that we have inside of the membership, we're talking about branding you. Do you guys see the repeat use of that content? Do you see the repeat use of the slogan, the repeat use of the tagline, the repeat use of the Brand You voice? So here you see one of the starter images here. When you go over to the actual YouTube channel, you're going to see the same thing with regards to consistent copy for the Brand Master, branding, Brand You Agency, all of these things consistently throughout your web copy. So yes, you'll see it on social media platforms as well. Again, I'm just showing you a couple of different examples. Let's go over here to let's go over to the TikTok channel. So even on the TikTok channel, when you go, you're going to continue to see the consistent theme of the Brand You Agency and all of that information here throughout the branding. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Consistency across your social media, your email, your web copy, and any of your customer interaction. So one of the ways you can continue to develop customer interaction throughout your physical presence is by merch, branded merch, youth lifestyle training, continuing the same consistent theme throughout all of the branding, depending on what you may be marketing that specific day. All of this is learned about throughout the brand you experience. I hope that makes sense. Okay. You want to make sure that you ensure that your tone aligns with your messaging. So, for an example, fun tone for a party business planning situation. Okay. So, if you're doing an event and you're hosting something for a baby shower, that tonality and those colors, that logo, all of the taglines, everything that is around that particular event should mesh and should match. I hope that makes sense. Okay. You don't want it to be where you go and you're going to what should be a baby shower, and it could be something like a gender reveal, and everything is black and gold and drab, unless you additionally have something that says, hey, we're team black for if it's a girl and we're team gold for if it's a boy. Your messaging says the same thing, the theme of the party, the attendees and the attire, what you actually have to give out to the guests to sign up for which team, right? Black and gold for me wouldn't be a thought process for a baby shower. However, if you don't understand how to make something a part of a brand, consistency will do the job. Consistency in messaging, consistency in imagery, consistency in the brand voice, all of that would be able to deliver the end result that you want to accomplish with, again, the messaging, right? The tonality, the colors, the fonts, the styles, all of this consistently would help to enhance the brand voice. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So I do want to ask a question as we close out on today's session. If you guys, number one, have been able to receive value from that, if it makes sense, if you understand where we're going with it, but more importantly, dropping below in the comments, if you would, if your brand were a person, right? What 3 traits would that person have? Think about that for a moment. If your brand were a person, what's going on, Erica? Hey, so good to see you, Jim. If your brand were a person, what 3 traits would that person have, right? And also, if you had to describe the brand in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? If you'll drop that below in the comments, definitely, I say all the time, if you leave your answers below inside of the comments, then I would love to help you expand on that or grow that brand thinking, into an actual brand voice. So should you choose, inside of our Zoom room. Okay, so we'll be in the Zoom room immediately following this live stream, learnleadandlevelup.com. Register for that community. And then if you'll look when you log in up at the top at the events tab, that will allow you to open up a calendar. And in that calendar, it will allow you to select today's date and show up live inside of our community, inside of our private Zoom group, right, to ask your branding questions. So again, I hope you understand the very simple, simplistic delivery of your brand voice. It is your tone, it's your personality, it's your zhuzh, it's that actual conveyance of your energy from your brand value out into these internet streets, out into the listening audience, out into that which you would like for it to land, just to see whether or not it resonates, not only in your authenticity, but also in your audience's communication back with you. So literally, that is my time for today. Brand voice is not an extensive, topic that we need to spend hours on, but I wanted to make sure that I deliver that content to you today so that you could go and revamp, have a look at what you are delivering here now out into these internet streets and what you perceive your 3 traits or best 3 words that describe you as the brand or the person that you're using for an example as the brand. I hope to catch you on Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see if I can get you guys a little bit of information about what Tuesday's topic may be. So on Tuesday of week 3 of this, we're talking about how to optimize your social media profile On Wednesday, we're building a website that actually converts. On Thursday, using SEO to make your business discoverable online. So why go through building all this and then you don't have keywords, meta tags, and things like that for people to be able to find you? And then how to create content that actually captivates and converts. I'm excited to see you guys on this journey, to be with you on this journey together. And I look forward to catching you guys on next week.